What's up, Squirtle Squad? Sean here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different, something I don't normally do. Today I'll be going over the tier changes recently made, the Smogon tier changes, Pokemon rose and dropped. And I normally don't do this sort of thing, but I felt like I should make a video about this month's tier changes, because this month's tier changes have been pretty crazy. This is definitely one of the biggest tier changes we've had in a long time. So, now if you guys like to see more of this type of stuff, maybe if you want me to go over the tier changes, all the tier changes as they happen, be sure to leave a like and also leave a comment down below to let me know and show your feedback and all that. But the first Pokemon that dropped was Celebi from OU to UU, and this makes sense. Obviously the Smogon tiers are based off usage, so and Celebi hasn't really been used that much. You only ever really see it as like a baton passer to baton pass like Calm Minds or Swords Dance to other Pokemon. So makes sense that it dropped down to UU, and I can actually see Celebi being a very good baton passer in UU. Celebi has been, UU before in the past, and I don't know, I think it'll be fairly potent in the UU tier. Like I said, probably be very good baton passer. And yeah, it should be pretty interesting to use in UU. And then the next Pokemon that dropped was Honchkrow from UU to RU, and again, makes sense why Honchkrow dropped. Honchkrow has been isn't all that common. One of Honchkrow's biggest, I guess, flaws you could say is it's one of those Pokemon that just ends up killing itself, kind of, just, to like Life Orb recoil and then Brave Bird recoil. And also, the introduction of fairies didn't help out Honchkrow, obviously being weak to them. But again, similar with Celebi, Honchkrow I can see being extremely good in RU. A very good wall breaker. If you look at RU, a lot of Pokemon are very weak to Honchkrow. Honchkrow gets moves like Brave Bird, it's Sucker Punch, Superpower, Pursuit, even stuff like Heat Wave, even can really put a dent in any RU team. Really, I mean that's Honchkrow's whole purpose, pretty much, is get a few kills, and then just kind of die. And I can definitely see Honchkrow wiping the floor with a lot of RU teams. And I've even been seeing people running Hidden Power Steel on Honchkrows to deal with Deancey, because Deancey resists all the aforementioned Brave Bird and Sucker Punch and that stuff. So I mean, I never thought I'd see the day where Hidden Power Steel Honchkrow would be viable. Seen it all. The next Pokemon I dropped down was Gastrodon from RU to NU. And again, Gastrodon, a Pokemon that wasn't very used. wasn't used much in the RU tier. If we look here, I speak. Gastrodon obviously only weakness is grass, and seeing as how Venusaur recently came into the tier, not to mention other grass types like Sceptile, Rizion, Tangrowth, Rotom-Mow. It's not hard to see why Gastrodon wasn't the most used Pokemon in RU, and also, I mean, Gastrodon's stats aren't bad, but I mean, it's not great. They're just kind of average, and probably one of the biggest, maybe not the biggest, but one of the flaws of Gastrodon is doesn't have that like diverse for a move pool, at least for a tank, which is the primary function Gastrodon serves. Really only like standout move it gets as far as like status moves is like recover, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it gets some good attacking moves. It gets Scald, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Clear Smog, but I mean, it's not horribly weak, but still, I mean, 220 special attack stat, you're probably not going to be investing into. It's not going to do that much damage, and I mean, coverage moves like Ice Beam or Sludge Wave, it's like, when's Gastrodon gonna get a chance to really pull them off? So yeah, makes sense Gastrodon dropped to NU. Can definitely see it being pretty good in NU, in having only one weakness, and like I said, not the most diverse move pool, but still, like with what it has, I think it could perform pretty well in the NU tier. Pretty much shuts down Lantern, actually, which is one of the Lantern, one of the most common Pokemon in NU. Gastrodon with Storm Drain pretty much walls that completely, so that is a very nice thing to have in NU. So yeah, and another Pokemon that dropped from RU to NU is Aggron. And again, this makes a lot of sense. If you look at RU, well, first I guess we should look. Aggron pretty much serves two purposes. Either one, a physically defensive, very bulky stealth rocker, or Rockhead, choice banded head smash user. Just basically spam head smash and punch a hole through everything. And if we look down RU, we have two Pokemon that serve each purpose better. We have Mega Steelix here, who fills the purpose of bulky stealth rocker much better than Aggron. Its typing is a bit better, higher defense, much higher special defense, even a higher attack stat. So Mega Steelix pretty much outshines Aggron as a tank and stealth rocker in every way. And then, as far as like a head smash user, we have Tyrantrum in this tier. It also gets Rockhead and Stab Head Smash. Also has a higher attack stat, and also has a better secondary offensive typing in Dragon. Dragon's much better offensive typing than Steel. Steel's not bad because it's super effective against fairies, but these two Pokemon, Mega Steelix and Tyrantrum, both fulfill Aggron's two niches better than it can, so it makes sense that it dropped down to NU. And we can see choice band head smash Aggron just like punching holes through NU. It's like choice band head smash not Earth Power, Earthquake, you know, like Heavy Slam, and just see it just doing a lot of work in NU, and just being a very powerful wall breaker, and also, I mean, make a decent stealth rocker. But I feel like you know, there are other Pokemon that can be stealth rockers in NU, so I feel like the Choice Band set is gonna be the one that's shining most. The next drop is big one. Conkeldurr dropped from OU to UU. This, oh boy, this is probably one of, if not the biggest drop of this whole change. This tier update. 'Cause, I mean, Conkeldurr is by no means like a slouch. It is a extremely good Pokemon. We just haven't really seen Conkeldurr that much. I mean, Conkeldurr was extremely popular back in X and Y, but in ORAS you just don't really see it that much. And I mean, I still think it's like good enough to beat OU, but just people haven't been using it. So it's UU now, and it's gonna be just tearing through everything. Honestly, like any Conkeldurr moveset is gonna be viable in UU. I mean, like it's stuff like Earth Drain Punch, Earthquake, Fire Punch, Hammer Arm, Knock Punch, Poison Jab for stuff like Florges, Thunder Punch for the bulky water types that are also common in UU. Just see it being just super good. Also see it being a nice alternative to Machamp. They both have their pros and cons. Conkeldurr's stronger than Machamp, but Champ's a bit faster. Machamp gets Snow Guard. Conkeldurr gets stuff like Sheer Force, Nine Fist. Conkeldurr gets Mach Punch. Machamp gets like Bullet Punch and Heavy Slam, Dynamic Punch. So no, it's really like a preference thing, but definitely expect to see a lot of Conkeldurrs in UU. Eat some water because I'm thirsty. And now, next drops were Mega Alakazam and Mega Altaria. Now, they did drop from OU to UU, however, they were almost immediately banned, and so now they are BL, which is basically OU. I mean, they're not allowed in UU or below, so I mean, pretty much puts them at OU. So, I mean, I honestly don't know why they dropped in the first place. They're both extremely good Megas. Mega Altaria, I feel like, is one of the best Megas in the game. I don't know, as people just haven't been using them much. I mean, they are BL now, so they got set back up real quick. But next up, this is probably the craziest thing about this change. Quagsire moved up from NU to OU. I don't know what to say. He just jumped up like 4 tiers out of nowhere. Like, what? I mean, I get like Quagsire's good, and I mean, you see him on like stall teams in pretty much every tier. But like, freaking, wow, it's just shot up so high out of nowhere. I mean, unaware Quagsire, you know, I mean, stops stuff like Mega Charizard X, Zoom Rail to an extent, like other kind of setup mons, but I mean, for an OU, it's crazy. I mean, they're probably going to be running the same stuff that they pretty much always have been running: Scald, Earthquake, Toxic, Recover, maybe the Curse PC every now and then. I actually see Curse Quagsire being pretty good, but yeah, freaking Quagsire, I never expected him to jump so high in such a short time. But next up is Smeargle. No, it's not. There's Smeargle, who dropped from RU to NU. And you look at Smeargle. Smeargle's main purpose is very much like Focus Sash, and then Smeargle gets any moves. So it's like Spore, Stealth Rock, Sticky Web, and it's basically what like Smeargle does, like puts Pokemon to sleep and then sets up hazards and pretty much dies. And if you look at RU, which is where Smeargle used to reside, there are a lot of really good hazard removing mons in the tier gap, like Aerodactyl, Defog, Blastoise, Rapid Spin. We got Fletchinder, Flygon, Golbat, Hitmonlee, Hitmontop. We have we got Togetic, who can defog away. There's a lot of really good Pokemon to get rid of hazards in RU, and when your main purpose is to set up hazards, it's not obviously not going to be too great for you. So Smeargle actually feels like a really underrated mon. I think it's pretty good. I've used it a lot in OU back in like early X and Y when it was like the go-to like hazard setup mon. Good times, but I can definitely see Smeargle being viable in NU. Next up, we have Mawile dropping from NU to PU. I don't play lower tiers that much, but I mean, from what I can tell, I mean, Mawile's seem pretty good. I mean, it's got Intimidate, it's got Sheer Force, Steel Fairy is a great typing. Can set up Stealth Rocks, or it could be offensive against moves like Play Rough, Iron Head, Knockoff. But I mean, it's obviously the stats aren't, they're not great, and I feel like, again, it's all based on usage, and I feel like people just like kind of forget about Mawile. I don't really like give it much love, but that being said, I can definitely see it being pretty good down in PU. I mean, Steel Fairy, it's just such a good typing. I mean, like I said, it can be like, the Intimidate, Bulky Set can set up Stealth Box, or you can have like Sheer Force and do a butt ton of damage. Like, again, stuff like Play Rough and Iron Head. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't play lower tiers all that much, so I mean, I don't know, see how it works. And then, another big change, Sylveon dropped from OU to UU. Now this was a long time coming, ever since they banned passing speed with Baton Pass. Sylveon just hasn't been used that much, because like used to be able to just like time pass all the speed in Sylveon and then just do so much damage. But now obviously can't do that, and now it's finally dropped down to UU. I can see Sylveon being kind of a nice alternative to Florges, like a bit has slightly better physically defensive. I mean, not by that much, but still a bit better. And I mean, you know, stand kind of like Keel Bell, Wish, Baton Pass, Protect, all that stuff. And also, I mean, it gets Pixelate Hyperforce, which is stronger than Moonblast. So there's that. I also see Specs Sylveon being extremely powerful in UU, and I mean Sylveon's always been a good Pokemon. Bulky, offensive, fairy type. You can't go wrong with that, really. And next, this is also a really big change. Amoonguss went up from RU to OU, and I mean, again, it's like Quagsire. It's a very big jump, but I mean, Amoonguss is a very good Pokemon, and like Quagsire, you saw Amoonguss on stall teams, and pretty much every tier was allowed in. I mean, it gets like Regenerator, it's Spore, which is 100% accurate, Sleep Move, which is always great. I mean, you see Amoonguss is like one of the most used Pokemon in VGC. It's like top 10 most used Pokemon. And I know that's partly due to like Rage Powder, which isn't very viable in singles, but still, the fact still stands. It's a very good Pokemon. I feel like one of the biggest reasons Amoonguss went up is to beat fairies, and there's stuff like Azumarill. Amoonguss pretty much beats 1v1 unless Azumarill has Ice Punch, but unless it gets a Belgium off, I don't think Ice Punch will OHKO. I mean, I doubt it. Amoonguss is very bulky. Fable, Amoonguss deals with very well, can clear Smog away, it's called Mind Boost. Very good dealing with that type of stuff. And Amoonguss also beats Pokemon like Keldeo, and just very useful Pokemon to deal with fairies, and also just in general. So definitely see it being used quite a bit. And finally, the last change is Zapdos bumped up from UU to OU, and you know, makes sense. Zapdos was extremely common in UU. It is extremely good. Choice Spec Zapdos just like tear through teams, did so much damage. It's also probably one of the best defoggers. Well, I don't know. It's certainly a good defogger. It has extremely good defensive typing in Electric Flying, only 2 weaknesses. Also, it recently got Static for its hidden ability. It's probably a bit of a reason why it's been used a bit more in UU, because it got Static and everyone's like, wants to try it. I mean, I can see Static being good on Zapdos, like a Landorus tries to U-turn and gets paralyzed, has Garrett, mate. I don't know. Again, very good Pokemon, makes sense. Definitely the biggest ones to come out of this change were Conkeldurr and Sylveon dropping down, and Quagsire and Amoonguss going up. So it should be really interesting to see how these changes impact the meta and see how it works. Man, just thinking about this is just thinking about Sun and Moon meta is gonna be crazy, but that's neither here nor there. It's miles away. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this, like I said, please leave a like and comment down below if you would like to see more of these in the future. Let me know your feedback and all that stuff. Means a lot. I think with all that, I'm gonna get out of here. So, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Another video.